Okay, gang. First thing first. Actually, it's the last thing first because last video, when I uploaded, when it was done, I checked it out. I forgot my top 5. So I got in comments complaints. There it is. Check Razor. No climax. Top 5. So he's missing it. Slow Sal said, I'll do the top 5 for you. In no particular order. Guitar players. The best guitar players, in his opinion, but this, I think this is everybody's list. Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, and Dwayne Allman. Can anybody complain about this list? That's his list, and now I cannot give you that as my list. So what I have to do is, I'm gonna give you my top 5 right now, before I forget, so we're not gonna wait for the end. And I'm gonna give you my top 5 guitarists, but because it's these 5 guys, I cannot do it. So I have to give you my second 5 from 6th to 10th place. Here we go. My number 1 in second top 5 is Alvin Lee. Alvin Lee, the frontman of 10 Years After, who recently died like maybe 4 years ago. When I heard that, I said, this is a crime. He had some simple surgery, and in the news, doctors did the wrong procedure, so he died. In a simple surgery. The fastest guitar slinger of all times. Do you know what I'm saying? The fastest? Check here. I give you the playlist. I'm Going Home from Woodstock, 1969. That is before hard rock, before shredding, before heavy metal, before any of that, the guitar monsters. He was so fast. There was nobody there. Eric Clapton, who was the best guitarist in that moment, he was called the Slow Hand. That's Eric Clapton's nickname, the Slow Hand. Jimmy Page, you don't know any fast Led Zeppelin song. That doesn't exist. Alvin Lee, the Speed Monster. I like so many of 10 Years After songs, and it's just based on his solos and bluesy and jazzy sound. He has a lot of like some jazz sound. Just look at his red guitar, Gibson 335. That's everybody's dream, you know? So that's my number 1, and I can keep talking about him for a long time. But let's move. Peter Green. Peter Green started the Fleetwood Mac band when he and Mick Fleetwood, they left John Mayall's Blues Breakers, and they formed Fleetwood Mac. He was mostly singing, playing guitar, and they were doing mostly blues, like all those English guys that I already mentioned that were infected with the blues in the 60s. And he's one of the greatest. He also recently died. Rory Gallagher, the hardest working guitar man of all times. You have to see his guitar. Rory Gallagher's guitar he has a Fender, and it lost all polish, all shine, all paint, and it's just the wood from the sweat, blood and tears, as we would say, that was dripping from his head, and just acid eating the paint on the guitar completely. No paint on it. He never repaired it. Maybe changed the pickups or something, And for sure, Rory Gallagher, one of the best. How would any guitar list be without Stevie Ray Warren? I didn't know about Stevie Ray Warren. I lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and when I heard about Stevie Ray Warren was the day when the helicopter crashed. They were going from, I think, Alpine Valley, which is just south of Milwaukee. They were going, I think, to Chicago for another concert. Helicopter crashed, and we lost Stevie Ray Vaughan forever. He started very young, influenced by his older brother, Jimmy. And Jimmy was in Fabulous Thunderbirds. Stevie Ray Vaughan, the legend forever. So I mentioned all these 4 guys, all dead, all gone. We just tell stories about them. And who's the best today that's still alive? My favorite, Gary Clark Jr. Check in this video that I left you in a playlist. Check what he does with the string, how he bends them. It's like a criminal act what he's doing. That is unbelievable. Gary Clark Jr., he's from Texas. There's so many big guitar players came out of Texas, and he's one of them. He started playing and practicing in a garage with a girl, white girl, next door. She was a couple years older than him, and she already played, so he learned from her. And they formed a band. They were playing, they were kids, teenagers playing, and then one day they split. She's still playing guitar, and Gary Clark Jr. has a big name in the future. So that's my second group of top guitarists. I couldn't fit there. Many other. You have your favorites, and you know that they belong there in the top, but there's so many of them. I just cannot listen any of this heavy metal, guys. Even they're good, they're amazing. Recently we lost Eddie Van Halen, and you have to admit he's the guy who was inventing stuff on guitar, not just playing guitar. He was inventor of styles, that tapping and whatever he was doing. He is probably one of the with the greatest technique and the knowledge. How's this list good if I don't mention Mark Knopfler or Jack White? That kid, well, Jack White is not a kid anymore, but I always think about a kid from White Stripes. He's amazing. He knows absolutely everything you have to know about guitar. Or John Mayer. Nobody talks about John Mayer, how good guitar player he is. And John Mayer was on the top of his popularity about 2006. He had like 10 CDs in 1 year. He killed it. He was #1 guy in rock music. Well, today, John Mayer plays the blues. He goes to Eric Clapton's Crossroads Festival. He plays the blues. Excellent guitar players. I can go on and on. So I gave you already my top 10. I can do more, I didn't include on this list any of the blues players because that's the separate category. I do that somewhere down the road. Now, I had to put my shoes on and drive. I decided to go to Stones Casino. Stones Gambling Hall. Gambling Hall. That sounds like something from old Wild West. You remember, a year ago in October, I was here at the Thunder Valley when the scandal broke out. They found out that Mike Postal is cheating in a live game that they streamed on YouTube. Basically, Mike Postal had a chip implanted in his head, and he was getting a live feed from or his opponent cards from some satellite or wherever it's coming from God or aliens. He was killing it in that live stream game. He never won anything in any other game. Nobody knows for him winning in any Sacramento casinos. And then when the scandal broke out, poker players started a lawsuit that couple of weeks ago, judge just threw it out. And think about it. How can you prove that somebody's cheating if he really doesn't admit himself for no reason? He claims, I'm so good, and you guys, my opponents, you're so bad. But every poker player understands that he won like 100 sessions, it was some like 94 sessions in a row without having losing session. And in each of those hands, he goes all in with absolutely nothing. So you say, okay, he's bluffing. Well, but every time his opponents also have nothing, and they cannot call that. Only one time, one guy was sick of it, and he called him with ace high and called him bluffing. No judge can take that as a proof that somebody's cheating. So high hopes that everybody had about that lawsuit, nah, there was no chance. Well, I'm going to go now down to Stones to see how it looks like. I know Mike is not going to be there. That Jason manager, who's probably was feeding him the information about the opponent's hands, he's not going to be there. He's still not at work. So just want to go to see how the place look like. And I met last year some really nice people there. Had a nice session, losing session. So I'm just going to go have some fun. Let me just put my shoes on and then I'll see you down at Stones. Stones Gambling Hall. I'm back at the scene of the crime. Entering back door. I have no clue what they have right now. I heard it's in a tent, and just gonna check it out. Oh, the tent is pretty big, almost like a building. It's about 3 o'clock and 63 degrees outside. It's warm enough, but I don't know what happens when the sun goes down and temperature is 50. That's probably in a couple hours, so we'll see. So I finished the game, but the cashier, you have to go inside the casino. They don't keep the cash in a tent. And the tables are moved outside, so it's empty here. I also don't see the famous booth where a live stream was coming from. It was somewhere there. It's gone. Well, that was a tent poker experiment. When I came, it was about 63 degrees, hour and a half later 57, and now I'm leaving after 3 hours of play. It's 54 after 6 o'clock. It's all right. They have 9 poker tables and a bunch of other games. Tent is really big construction, and it's better than I expected. So it's possible to play. I just don't know. This is mid-November now. What's gonna be in December, January? We'll see. The game was really good, and players, nothing special, just normal guys, you know. So, interesting thing was, this is gonna be the theme of the video, 4-card flush. I sat down, I'm pulling my money out, the girl came, you know, bringing me chips, I'm not even in a hand. The old guy in seat 1 raised like 15, seat 8 makes it 45, the old guy goes all in. Seat 8 goes like, you have aces again? And he pushes his chips, so he called. Shows pocket kings. The old guy shows aces. It's 4 hearts on the board. King of hearts wins. And that's the theme for the whole night. So to finish the Stones story, I want to say first that when I looked at the tent and construction, I really appreciate the job they did. It is really sturdy, huge posts, raised floor, little bit wobbly here and there, but it's not something, I thought it's just like a tent and an open parking lot. No, this is like a construction. I don't know how it's in LA. I'm gonna in a few weeks be down there to compare, but I think that Stones did marvelous job with this tent. And normally they want to be in business, but you have this California dictator governor who knows what's the best for us, but poker lives and goes on in a tent. So, funny hand. Ace is cracked. Now comes a hand. I have pocket queens, and I'm in a small blind. The guy down there across the table, he bets 15 pre-flop. Guy on my right, he calls. I look at it, you know, there's a big blind and $33 in a pot. I make it 65. Original raiser folds. Guy next to me goes all in, like instantaneously. But I have only $211 left, so I call. He shows aces as expected. Flop is ace high, and then comes runner, runner, spade. Queen of spades wins. Oh my, I'm laughing now, but usually I'm at the other end of this, of hands like this. Well, then we had another abnormal hand, which was not four-card flush. I again have pocket queens, and there was a raise and a call. Guy on my right, the same guy, he re-raised to 40. I call with queens, like, trapping him. The guy goes all in. Original raiser. Guy next to him, he goes all in. Guy next to me, he goes all in. So now there's 3 all-ins, but I have only $115 left. I lost a couple of hands before that, so I know one of them has pocket aces, but I already cracked aces. So for $115, I'm in. I'm just for the size of the pot, so I can win there like $600. Flop is 8, 4, 3, turn is 7, river is king. So guy on my right shows pocket jacks. Okay, I show queens. Guy down there shows aces. Guy next to him, he shows aces. Rabbi. Well, soon after this hand, I have about 250 and I get pocket aces. I make it 15 and I get 2 callers. Flop is 5, 4 deuce, all hearts. Here we go again. I bet 65. The guy goes all in. I 215. I call. I have ace of hearts. He shows pocket fives. Turn is 10 of clubs. River is jack of hearts. So here we go again. 4 heart flush beats made hand. I played maybe another half hour and I left. It was starting to get cold. I could feel it on my legs. Basically, the game runs till 7. I don't know really. This was my first tent experience. I really like it. Guys at Stones, good job. Sorry, I'm joking about incidents with Mike from last year, but that's gonna stay with you forever. And now my top 5. Oh, no, we already did that. So adios and see you on the felt.